There comes a moment in life when you stop and realize this world doesn't owe you loyalty. No one is coming to save you. No one is waking up with your dreams, your fears, your battles in their chest. And the sooner you understand that, the faster you rise. This isn't about bitterness. It's about awareness. It's about waking up from the illusion that everyone who smiles at you wants the best for you. It's about stepping into your full power and saying, I am not here to be liked. I am here to be respected. In this video, we're diving into a truth most people are too afraid to face ***, that friendship, in its purest form, is rare ***, that trust is earned, not given, and that your peace begins the day you stop needing validation from people who never understood your mission in the first place. This is for the warriors. For the ones who have been left on read, betrayed in silence, and doubted when all they needed was a little belief. This is your moment to reclaim your value, reset your standards, and reinforce your boundaries. So stay with me until the end, because if you've ever felt too loyal, too kind, too giving, this message will light a fire in your spirit. This is the truth they never taught you, but once you know it, you'll never go back. Let's begin. Trust is the foundation of all human relationships, but assuming trust before it is earned can be one of the most damaging decisions a person can make. When we mistake familiarity for loyalty or friendliness for genuine care, we walk into emotional traps that can cost us time, energy, and even parts of ourselves. Trust is not a feeling. It is a measured response to consistent behavior. It's built in the small things, how someone shows up when no one is watching, whether their words match their actions, how they respond when you are weak, not just when you are strong. Trust is not about how well someone treats you when life is good, but how they behave when things get tough or when they have something to gain by betraying you. In leadership and personal growth, one of the most important disciplines you can build is the ability to observe patterns, not promises. Many people can talk their way into your life, but few can walk the talk when you need them most. We must not confuse kindness with integrity. There are those who are skilled in manipulation, who understand exactly what to say to be liked, but who vanish the moment your usefulness fades. Trusting someone too quickly is often an attempt to fill a deeper void in ourselves, our need to feel seen, accepted, understood. But when we chase validation, we often trade discernment for illusion. This isn't about paranoia, it's about wisdom. It's about protecting your energy, your peace, and your future. You don't need to test people with traps. You just need to give it time, because time exposes loyalty. Time reveals intentions. Time will show you who claps when you win and who disappears when you bleed. The mature heart doesn't rush to crown someone friend. It allows space for truth to unfold. When we lead with patience instead of assumption, we avoid betrayal disguised as brotherhood. Trust is earned, and anyone who demands it before proving it is not ready to be part of your circle. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are doors that determine who gets to come in, how far they can go, and what behaviors are allowed. The truth is, the most self-respecting thing you can do is define your limits and enforce them with clarity and consistency. Without boundaries, you become a magnet for manipulation. People start to believe they can overstep, interrupt, demand, disrespect, and take without giving, because you've never drawn a line that says, this is where it stops. The more you let things slide, the more you train others to believe you'll tolerate anything. And before you know it, you've abandoned your own standards to make others feel comfortable while your peace quietly erodes. People who truly respect you won't be offended by your boundaries. They'll be grateful for them. Because boundaries communicate self-worth. They say, I value my time, my energy, my focus, and my heart. If someone pushes against your boundaries with guilt trips, manipulation, or anger, that's not love or friendship, that's control. And control is not a sign of care, it's a symptom of insecurity. When you build a life based on people pleasing, you create an identity that depends on external approval to feel worthy. But when you define and defend your boundaries, you no longer beg for space. You command it by the way you live. Boundaries are not about punishing others. They are about protecting your capacity to give from a place of wholeness instead of resentment. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to you. Your time is valuable. Your emotional energy is limited. Your peace is sacred. The strength to say no is not weakness. It is wisdom in action, and yes, enforcing boundaries may cause some people to leave. Let them. If someone walks away because you refused to be mistreated, that is not your loss, it's your liberation. In every season of growth, you must be willing to disappoint others in order to remain true to yourself, because the cost of betraying your boundaries to keep someone is far greater than the cost of letting them go. Loyalty is not found in words, it's revealed in patterns. In a world where people can easily wear masks, say all the right things, and play the role of a friend, the real test comes when the lights go off, when you're not winning, when you're not useful, when you're not needed. That's when you'll know who's truly in your corner. Real loyalty isn't about who smiles at you in the room. It's about who defends you when you're not in it. It's about the one who refuses to laugh at your expense, who doesn't waver when others start to walk away, and who doesn't change with the crowd's opinion. Loyalty is quiet, consistent, and courageous. It's the person who answers the late call, shows up in the dark times, and never asks for credit. But here's what most people miss. Loyalty can't be bought, manipulated, or demanded. It can only be inspired. You earn it not by giving people everything they want, but by standing for something they believe in. You earn it by being the kind of person others feel proud to stand beside. And just as you seek loyalty from others, you have to model it yourself. That means not switching sides when things get tough, not gossiping about the very people you once claimed to support, and not betraying trust just to gain temporary favor with someone else. Loyalty requires integrity even when it's inconvenient. Yet not everyone will give it back, and that's where wisdom comes in. If someone repeatedly proves that their loyalty is conditional, based on how much you benefit them or how well you serve their agenda, they're not a friend, they're a transaction. Don't confuse proximity with loyalty. Just because someone is around you doesn't mean they're with you. Pay attention to who claps when you win and who vanishes when you fall. The most dangerous people in your life aren't always your enemies. Sometimes they're the ones pretending to be your biggest supporters while silently hoping you never surpass them. This is why discernment is power. Observe patterns, protect your peace, and remember loyalty to yourself must always come before loyalty to anyone else. Real strength isn't in how loud you are, how many people surround you, or how intimidating your presence might seem. Real strength lies in emotional boundaries. It's the quiet, unshakable confidence to walk away from disrespect, to choose silence over unnecessary battles, and to protect your inner peace like it's the most sacred possession you own, because it is. Emotional boundaries are the invisible lines you draw to guard your mental and spiritual well-being. They are the decisions you make about what you will and won't tolerate, not because you think you're better than others, but because you've finally realized you're worth more than constant chaos, manipulation, and energy-draining drama. Too often, people confuse kindness with weakness. They think your compassion means they can take advantage of you, overstep their limits, or keep asking more while giving less. But boundaries are how you teach people to treat you. And if you don't draw the line, they'll keep crossing it. When you learn to say no without guilt, When you stop explaining your value and start expecting others to recognize it without being begged to, everything changes. You no longer attract people who are drawn to your need to prove your worth. You start attracting those who respect it naturally. Boundaries are not walls to keep love out. They are gates to let the right kind of love in. And the right kind of people won't be offended by your standards. They'll rise to meet them. But the wrong ones will label your self-respect as arrogance. They'll call your limits too much. Don't let that manipulate you into shrinking back into the version of yourself who accepted less than you deserved. Growth means disappointing some people. Peace means making decisions that confuse those who benefited from your lack of boundaries. And self-respect means protecting your heart, even if it means standing alone. You were not born to be emotionally available for everyone. You were born to protect the light within you and use discernment about where you invest it. Not everyone deserves access to your emotions, your story, or your spirit. Boundaries remind the world that your time, your energy, and your presence are privileges, not entitlements. When you understand that, you no longer live for approval, you live with purpose. True friendship doesn't need validation through words. It reveals itself in moments of silence, in storms, in crisis, and in absence. The fifth key to realizing that no one is truly your friend is learning how to discern between presence and intention. Just because someone is around you doesn't mean they are for you. People show up for various reasons: comfort, convenience, personal gain, but not all of them come with pure hearts. This is not a call for paranoia, but a wake-up for discernment. You have to train your mind to ask the hard questions. Why is this person in my life? What do they want when I'm at my lowest? Do they celebrate my wins or compete with them silently? People can share your table and still poison your food. They can applaud your dreams but secretly resent your growth. And they can offer you a hand not to lift you but to keep you exactly where they want you, beneath them or behind them. The hardest truth we learn as we evolve is that loyalty is rare and authenticity is sacred. What you think is friendship might only be familiarity, and what feels like support might actually be a strategy to stay close enough to monitor your progress. We live in a world where fake loyalty is dressed in smiles and sweet words. But real loyalty, it speaks in action, in sacrifice, in consistency. A true friend doesn't just agree with you, they challenge you. They don't leave when the lights dim, when the room isn't filled with laughter, or when your story stops benefiting theirs. They stay even when you have nothing to offer but your struggle. Most people, however, won't, and that's why this truth is so crucial. Be careful who you trust with your secrets, your peace, your purpose. Not everyone is plotting against you, but not everyone is praying for you either. And if you don't start evaluating people by their patterns instead of their promises, you'll keep giving access to hearts that were never meant to steward yours. Stop assuming every laugh means loyalty. Learn to observe. Learn to walk away when patterns no longer align with your purpose. Your time is too valuable, your destiny is too sacred, and your circle must reflect the version of you that you're becoming, not the one you've outgrown. The sixth key to understanding that no one is truly your friend is learning to become your own anchor. When you finally stop looking for someone to constantly validate you, uplift you, or rescue you from the depths of your own struggle, you unlock a power that no external relationship can offer. Depending on people for emotional survival sets you up for betrayal, because most people are not built to carry the weight of your healing. They're not designed to hold your pain, your dreams, or your deepest fears. And when you place those burdens on them, you are gambling with disappointment. There comes a point where you have to stop asking, "Will they be there for me?" and start asking, Will I be there for myself? That shift alone is the foundation of emotional independence. It teaches you that solitude is not a punishment, it's preparation. It's the quiet strength that shows you who you are without the noise of opinions, judgments, or false companionships. Many people surround themselves with noise just to avoid the echo of their own thoughts. But growth begins in silence. Clarity is born in solitude, and self-trust is built in the moments when no one else shows up but you do. You can't build your foundation on borrowed bricks. When you rely too heavily on external connections to hold your life together, you end up constructing a fragile identity, one that crumbles the moment someone walks away. The goal isn't to isolate yourself from the world, but to become so grounded that no relationship, no matter how strong or long-standing, can define your sense of worth or direction. That's the mark of someone who has done the internal work. That's the resilience that comes from falling and learning to rise without a hand to hold. When you become your own source of peace, your own motivator, your own mirror of truth, you stop being shaken by the inconsistencies of others. Their approval becomes optional, their absence becomes irrelevant, and their betrayal becomes powerless. The strongest people are not the loudest or the most surrounded. They are the ones who learned how to navigate storms alone, not because they wanted to, but because life demanded it. And now they walk into every room with a calm that says, I need no one to complete me. I came whole. That's not arrogance. It's maturity. That's not loneliness. It's leadership. That's not coldness. It's wisdom. In the end, the most powerful thing you can do is stop looking for safety in the wrong people and start building strength within yourself. Trust is sacred, loyalty is earned, and your peace is too expensive to be handed out to those who don't value it. The moment you start protecting your space, guarding your energy, and being intentional with your circle, you evolve, you rise. You become untouchable not because you've hardened, but because you've awakened. So don't be afraid to walk alone. Don't shrink your standards to keep people around, and never apologize for outgrowing connections that were never meant to last. Because when you learn to stand alone, you become the kind of person no one can manipulate, control, or define. Asterisk, asterisk, thank you, asterisk, asterisk, for watching this message, and for having the courage to confront uncomfortable truths. If this spoke to you, if it challenged you, or reminded you of your worth, then like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to join this journey of growth and unshakable self-respect. Stay strong, stay wise, stay grounded,